All right, I want to show just a quick review of UV mapping, which is to take an image and put it on an object. So there's quite a few steps here, and it takes a while to get it down. You have to do it 3 or 4 times until you really understand it, and then can do it pretty quickly. So here's just here's the way that we do that. Now I'm going to use my chessboard to demonstrate it. I've got 2 objects. This one with all these squares, and then this one right here that is just the background, which serves as half of the squares, and also the outer edge of the board. This is the actual board. So I'm going to first, here's the steps. First, make sure you're in cycles render. Change it to cycles, and then go to material and get a new material. There's a button here that says new material, and it might say use nodes. Click that until you get this. Now, instead of a color, I'm going to go to more options, which is right here, right next to color. And I'm going to select image texture right here. That way it's waiting for me to pull an image in. So you have to go and save an image and remember where you saved it. That way when you open it, you can go there. And if you have lots of images, you can click on this right here so it shows you a thumbnail preview of the images, which helps. So I'm just going to get this black marble image. I'm going to double click on it. And now it's on there. It's ready to go. But there's a few more things. So I have to now go over here to my 3D view, press tab to go into edit mode. And in edit mode, here's the minimum that I need to do. I need to at least press U and unwrap it. And then if I render it, it's going to be there. See, there's the texture. But it's not, it doesn't look very good. I should lighten that up, but let's do this instead. I'm going to click this right here so I can see the material view, and that way I can get a really good view of it. See right here, the top looks great, but on the sides, look what happens. It completely stretches out the image on those sides, and that is not acceptable. So what we need to do then is, I'm going to go back into edit mode. I'm going to click these diagonal markings and go left, drag left, and it opens up a new window. And I'm going to switch it in the viewport right here to UV Image Editor. And this is how it unwrapped. It took every face and just put it full size on every face. So we don't want that. But I want the picture in here to see how it's going to unwrap. So I click right here and get that picture that I brought in earlier. And then I'm going to select all over here again, A, to select everything. Actually, I don't need to do that right now. I'm going to get edge select, and I want to tell it how it's going to unwrap. That didn't do what I wanted. So what I do is I'm going to select the edges that I want to mark to cut. And when it cuts them, it unwraps it and keeps certain parts together, and it cuts certain edges. And so you have to know how to unwrap it. My favorite way is to select 3 edges on the bottom of the cube, just any 3. If it's a square especially, and then all 4 vertical edges going up and down, all 4. So I'm just holding down shift and right clicking on these to select them. And then I let go of shift so I can move the view around. Okay, any 3 on bottom and all 4 vertical ones. No edges on top, and 1 on bottom is open. So now that I have them selected, I'm going to come over here to this. By default, it's on tools right here. It's kind of hidden over here, shading and UVs right there. And I'm going to mark the seams. And if I press A to deselect, you can see they're still in red, so it remembers them after I mark them. If I press A again, it selects everything. And then if I press U to unwrap, I get this menu, or I can click it right here and select unwrap. And now it cut it and it unwrapped it in a certain way that I wanted. And it's still, look, if I look at it closely, it still didn't do any better. So there's one more thing I need to do. And the reason it's bad is because these are clearly rectangles, especially these down here, and these are perfect squares. So I need to change the scale of it, or tell Blender that I changed the scale. So I'm going to press tab to go out to object mode. I'm going to go to the object menu and apply and rotation and scale. It's like, hey Blender, I scaled this thing, so unwrap it correctly, please. So I'm going to go back into edit mode and press U to unwrap, and then it gives me the proper scale. Over here now, I can press A to deselect, A again to select all. I can press G just like I would grab and move an object, and I can put that wherever I want over here. And now look, it's not stretched out on that left side. It looks great, and it just continues on. Now, another trick is that this thing right here is the bottom of this cube. If I get face select and just select that face, that's it right there. So I can tell where these are. And all the edges are connected to the top, or all the sides of this board are connected to the top. So if I select everything again, all I'm worried about is the top and the edges. I'm not ever going to see the bottom. So I'm going to take advantage of my image here and scale it, the size. Press G, so S to scale, G to grab it and move it. And I'm going to put this right on that seam so it duplicates this image for the bottom. There still is texture there. It's just the exact same as the top. But we won't see the bottom, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, now I've used almost all of my image that I can, and it looks fantastic, right? So that is what we need to do. Take the time to do it right on unwrapping. Those are all the steps. It's quite a bit, but the more you do it, the faster you get at it and the easier it becomes.